What's up, my Wildstormers? Guys, such a frustrating day. We're going to get right into it. I spent literally all day looking for Wildcat Special #1. Now, anyone that follows me on the Twitter, you guys saw I was bouncing around Philadelphia a couple of days ago reading this as I was doing my rounds, because we all know I have a 9-to-5 job that I love, that I'm very dedicated to. It's an IT based position. That's what she said. But a lot of times with this channel, we pre-record content, we get ready to drop. It's all lined up. But along the way, you kind of get inspired. So I wanted to do Charest and Dave Finch from Top Cow Productions, because we're kind of still in the period where the two companies are still like friendly and they really haven't separated yet. And sometimes we can do these like parallels, and the parallels was going to be, hey, like two of their prime discovered talents, they get an annual, they get a special of their own to showcase their own talents. And I wanted to kind of compare and contrast where they were then and where they are now, ultimately coming to the conclusion that Dave Finch is really the one that shattered the grid. He broke the glass. And I get it. Travis, had a good rise, a lot of new hotness, a lot of excitement. He himself could move books, like, period. But Finch in the long view, very much how Silvestri in the long view of Jim Lee just shatters it, and they become easy #1s, with everything else being a distant second. But that just couldn't happen today. I couldn't find that comic. I left it in my office. I came home, started recording, started doing a lot of my prep work, a lot of my night work. I still had a couple phone calls to make. And then I just kept looking for it. And you guys say it's somewhat controlled chaos. But my reading stack, my reading pile, and everything I'm digesting, I keep it readily available, and I keep it in view at all times, for like as much as possible. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So no actual straight up episode right now, but I wanted to just bring something to you guys. I wanted to bring an idea, something to kind of think about. Charest here. This dude, his career, his start, the work he initially did for DC, he did a lot of detective comic books covers. You could tell from early that this dude had a touch. More so than like an early Joe Mad, more so than even an early Stephen Platt. Stephen Platt, like, great rendering, great craftsmanship, nice execution to the line work, and basically challenging the printers. That's one of Stephen Platt's like best attributes. So like they couldn't print his black and white line work. I absolutely love that fact. Look at some of his pages. So much of early Stephen Platt is just blotchy and confusing because they couldn't quite do it the right way. But Travis really had a little bit of a veteran's touch. And even to this day, I don't know too much about where he came from, how he got discovered. I don't believe I've ever read an interview with him. My perception of Travis is strictly through the lens of, a comic book geek, seeing his work, paying attention to it, and getting excited for what came next. Travis would leave the industry and kind of do covers here and there, and he does like a European comic book every now and again, and it's disappointing. But at the same time, he was really the inheritor of the throne to Jim Lee's Wildcats, and that is absolutely significant. It's one of the true benchmarks of Wildstorm Productions, and also a benchmark of the comic book era. Because to contrast this with Top Cow Productions, the Extreme Studios, they developed, real quick though, like Rob Liefeld's Extreme Studios, they developed regular talent. Guys that could just draw and put books out. Guys like John Stinsman and Todd Nuck and Dane Fraga and Murat Michaels. These were constantly consistent people. they kept that company afloat because Rob Liefeld essentially disappeared after the first year from Extreme Studios and never quite returned. He returned with attention, but never with like a footing to get on the monthly grind and constantly do books and hype things up. He really became more of a pitch person, period. Which, again, like, which is fine. Top Cow Productions and Wildstorm built these superstars. And Top Cow Productions later would get Michael Turner. And Michael Turner came onto the scene very refined, but not quite like Charest did. And I wanted to do a video where we kind of go through some of the career of Charest leading into this. And that's where I just ran out of time. So just, you know, I guess like my whole intention here was to build this up into the next Wildstorm Productions video, which we really haven't done before. But I think this is a name that a lot of you should just, like, you know, just start thinking about. When that video drops, we'll do a full deep dive on Charest, his work in Wildstorm leading into this, and maybe potentially a couple notes of some of his other Wildcats work through this era and into what's like pretty much the end of the Wildcats, which would be the Alan Moore era, because I really don't feel like the book ever recovered with Alan Moore. We're long standing on this channel, aka Patters. Alan Moore destroyed Rob Liefeld's Youngblood, and Alan Moore destroyed Jim Lee's Wildcats. Too much Alan Moore in those titles, and it just obliterated them. Now, month to month, they were great, fantastic reads, but in the aggregate, when we look back at the company arc, it's bad business. So guys, just be on the lookout. We're good. I promise we have Wildcats special #1 coming at you.